Hi, today is Monday the 29th. I barely have a voice today, got a cold. So I'm going to try and record this SPX Outlook. And we start with a 4-hour chart. As we've seen last week, so ending on the 25th, we hit an all-time high again, and then it retraced to pivot, try to bounce back. On Thursday we had a bout of selling. And I thought for a while that, we could actually go lower. But in fact, this is the first fib support from a longer pattern. And then it bounced back almost as surprisingly on Friday at the close. And now it's hovering around 39.57 or something. And it is likely, if we look at this, it is likely to hold the pivot and maybe aim in this range all the way to all-time highs again. We have a fib expansion target on 40.20. The new strong resistance is on 40.60, and as you can see, this 40.20, 4022 is also the stall level on this time frame. Difficult to say where the market is. We've seen very, very weird rotation last week. One day, small caps, the Russell was on fire, the tech stocks took a hit, and vice versa. The Dow proved quite resilient, and the SPX is probably following the Dow more than typically the Nasdaq or the small caps. I mean, it's a combination of all those, but I mean the correlation to the Dow is pretty strong at this time. So I would say that if we go with the flow, the market should keep grinding up. Not that it is very pleasant, but we have to accept it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the all-time highs are tested again. The pivot has been penetrated several times, so it could actually, now it is also a fib support here, so it's probably going to hold for a while, but we can't, if the market drops like a bomb, it could actually penetrate and go all the way to 38.55 again. And at the very least, if this tested for resistance once broken, it would then determine the range the market is probably more comfortable with, which would be 3750 to 3900. At this point, I would say grinding higher or hovering on this higher part of the range is more likely. If we look at the daily chart, we see that yes, on Thursday, on Friday, the market broke this fledgling downward channel, and now it's aiming for 40.22 or 40.60. I could actually draw trend lines here, but I don't really monitor this time frame too closely. What we notice here is that what was a resistance tested for support is still showed as a resistance for a long while, and now it's definitely aiming higher. So the chances of the market reversing soon would be very surprising. Now for today and maybe tomorrow, the trend lines are generally quite similar, but here we see that the strong resistance is actually very close to all-time high. So this range is going to be a strong resistance in a short term. And if the market then decides to retrace, we have support of 39.30, 20, and about 3900. So the key levels are quite well identified. I suppose the market, as I said on the 4-hour chart, will try and hold this upper side of the range. And if not, because now it is possible, but we would need some strange news, something exogenous, something that comes from outside, because liquidity is just fueling buying power. But so I would say that the market participants are anticipating probably that, well, it is going to grind up and up. But this is not a rosy Goldilocks scenario. It's pretty weird. We've got earnings coming. The techs will be sometime next week or the week after. We have the financials. So I would suggest monitoring the earnings to see what could drive the markets for the month of April. So for today, I would say grinding up or at least hovering in this part of the range. I won't talk much longer. I've got a really sore throat. So if you want to catch up with this, I would suggest you go to Slack, where I will post screenshots later on. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.